Good evening and welcome back this week for Balancing the Scales of Justice. I'm Shirley Millwood. I'm an attorney here in Calhoun County. My office is Millwood Law Firm out in Alexandria, Alabama. I'm in a rural area, the first lawyer to open a law firm in Alexandria, and a little more than 14 and a half years later, I'm still the only law firm in Alexandria and have been providing legal services to our community across Calhoun County and in fact across the state for the last 15 years, and I've been in the legal field for 26 years. So anyway, thank y'all for tuning in this week, and you know, I come each week and hope that I can provide a little bit of tidbit of information, give some legal advice, some things that may help you or someone that you know that may be going through some legal issues and they need some assistance navigating those legal issues. And you know, when I do come in and give it legal advice, it's not case specific, as the facts of each case may be different. So I give more of a general legal advice, a general answers to just general questions. If you have some questions that you'd like some more case specific, or not necessarily case specific, but more specific information and answers to more specific questions, please call us, email us, reach out to us, and messages on the Facebook group. I'll be happy to discuss those on the next show or the one after that. Anyhow, so hope that we can provide you some information that'll be helpful to you, or again, someone that you know that may be going through some tough times, and this information might prove valuable to you. Anyway, thank you all for joining in tonight and viewing, and so happy to have you here with us. And this evening I have a guest here with me, my dear friend, Miss Jean Ellison.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for having me, Shirley.
Thank you for being here. And I'm going to let Jean tell a little bit about what she does around town, because she and her husband are very active in our communities and in you know, business owners here in town. And Lord, I see Jean everywhere I go. Like everywhere I go, I run into you somewhere. So you're like me, just all over the place.
We're just bebop all over the place. So yes, so I am the owner of the Music Box on Noble Street, along with my husband, and we have been there for about 9 years. And we teach private music lessons. So we teach violin and voice, drums, guitar, bass, ukulele, banjo, all of the things, flute, oboe. My husband and I both, we have our undergrads in music ed and our masters in music, and so we just love being able to provide this to our community. It's been our way of life. Music is a way of life for us. And through the Music Box, I have a company called T&B Consulting, and I help local venues with providing music, like bands, big bands, and acoustic acts. Some really awesome acts like Barrett Haynes, who was on The Voice, and my parents have a reggae band, the Natty Lovejoys, and so I try to get them out there. And my sister Bamie, she's played at Hooligans Harley Davidson here in Oxford. I mean, just so many incredible venues, and so I love doing that. And then also I do media. So I'm loving this aspect, being a creative. You know, I get to do music, but I also get to create behind the scenes. So I love getting to do social media. I love getting to know the client and kind of expressing and bringing awareness to their platform through social media. So yeah.
And I will say, you know, when you're into music, most musicians are very creative. And so when you combine that with your social media, you know, that creativity flows into that social media. And so Jean has taken over my social media a few weeks ago, and it's been amazing what she's been doing, and such a blessing for me as well. But and your sister, I got to hear her perform the first time at Hooligan Harley Davidson, and she is amazing.
Oh, yay. She loves you. Oh, I'm so glad. She's like, oh my gosh, I love her, you know.
But tell us about your parents, because your parents are amazing as well.
Okay, so let me tell you, my mom was born and raised in London, in England, and my dad was born and raised in Kingston, Jamaica, hence my son Kingston's name. And they met in New York at a music studio. And because a lot of my friends are like, you're born in New York? I'm like, yes. Like, but your dad is from here, and your mom. They met in New York, which is like a melting pot, right? And so they formed a reggae band, and they have toured my entire life. They've traveled my entire life. They've played overseas, Europe, Jamaica, Atlanta. Oh my goodness, they've received Best Reggae Band. I mean, they're incredible. My husband plays drums with them as well. We just went and recorded some singles at the studio in Muscle Shoals.
Oh,
where
cool.
some of the greats have been, like Aretha
Yes.
Franklin. And I mean, it was just awesome.
Yes,
I mean, Alabama, we have such awesome, rich history here too. So it was cool for my, parents to get to see that. And, but yeah, so they travel all over and they play here. They play at Hooligan Charlie Davidson, Coldwater Mountain Brew Pub. So just be looking out for them this summer. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So, but they're awesome, and they've instilled a lot of music into me and into my family, and then we've passed that down to our kids. So it's pretty cool. And also, I'm first generation American.
Really?
Yes, and a lot of my friends don't know this. Actually, my eldest brothers were born in Jamaica, so we're the first to be born in America. And it's quite the story how my mom tells how her mom came to America on a dream. So it all goes hand in hand. It's pretty cool.
So I was always impressed with the different types of musical instruments that y'all teach. Because most people, it's you go to one person for piano lessons or you go to one for guitar lessons, and y'all just have this very diverse set of musical instruments and vocals as well.
Yes.
And I've attended a few of your recitals, so I've got to hear. In fact, you had one a couple of weeks ago on a Sunday afternoon, and there was a young lady there, young girl. And I had watched her perform at the Christmas lighting show in Anniston on Noble Street, like early December. And then I watched her a few weeks ago, and the difference from then until now was just amazing. It was amazing. And to see her, because I could tell, like back in December, she was apparently a new student. And the way that not only her vocals and how all of that had improved, but how she came out of her shell. I mean, she came out on the stage at the recital a few weeks ago, and she just owned it.
I think I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yes, I mean, her presence and her stage presence, she just owned it. So I have firsthand seen, just the transformation in a few months period of what y'all do with these students.
Thank you.
And I think your husband teaches for the schools, doesn't he?
Yes. So my husband is a school teacher for Calhoun County. And so he's been teaching for about 13 years now. This is year 13. So we're really invested in this community. And he and I at the Music Box, yes, he is the guru. He teaches all of the instruments. It's just awesome. And but I know who you're talking about. What we do at the Music Box, it's more than just teaching music lessons, right? We are trying to foster a musical experience, a musical community, almost like a culture. So we teach our students how to practice, because a lot of parents will say, "Oh, my kids, they're not practicing." Well, that's a learned art, just like learning how to study for a test. Some people have different techniques. Same with music. You have to teach a student how to practice and inform our parents what to expect, so that they don't have these expectations that are just, my child is only practicing 10 minutes a day. Well, for some kids, that's pretty great, because it's hard to get kids to sit down and do anything that's not fun or going to play, but music is fun. But so we try to instill so much more than just music into our students. We try to encourage them to come out of their shell, to walk into their musicianship. So that's something that you were probably seeing from that student, where it's kind of their first time being in front of people. That's scary it takes a lot of bravado. It's scary for anybody.
Yes, it is.
And so once we take that performance and say, okay, that was great, that was amazing, we got our nerves out, now we're going to work on the performance aspect. We're going to learn how to tell a story. So we're teaching our students kind of how to transform into performers, right? Because there's a difference between sitting and you're meddling at your piano to telling that story. It could just be instrumental, but you're using phrasing, you're using dynamics to lure your audience in. So I'm glad that I'm excited to go back and tell them that you noticed that.
Yes, absolutely. And there were several that I had noticed improvements, but just she stood out to me, the most. And you're talking about that. I mean, even like being a lawyer and presenting my case to the court, I'll sometimes spend 20, 40 hours preparing a case for trial.
Right.
Even though I may only be in there for the whole day trying the case, or I'm in there for half a day trying the case. But the secret is pulling all of that information together and figuring out or learning how, which, has just kind of come second nature to me now, but years ago was being able to pull all that information together.
Right.
And then streamline it.
Yes.
To be able to pull out what is the absolute most important and the things that, you want to make sure that you don't walk out of the courtroom and say, oh,
I wish I had said this.
I didn't tell the judge these things and they were important. So having all of that and being prepared for that. But, I've always said, I am putting together a puzzle.
Right.
And so I'm going in and I've got all these puzzle pieces and I'm going in the courtroom and I'm going to put all these puzzle pieces together and have my puzzle complete by the time I finish my trial at the end of the day.
Right.
And so, it's very
very
akin
similar
to what you're saying.
Because
yes.
It's like, we practice for 3 months before a recital, and you pull it apart, you pick it apart, right? You have a song, they don't just sing through the song. We're going to do vocal warm-ups. We're going to talk about technique. We're going to talk about the pedagogy of there's so much that goes into it. My older students, they're so funny. They're like, here she goes. They already know it's gonna. So we'll start a song. Let's go back and let's talk about breathing. Let's talk about the way that our actual diction, how we're saying the words. You pick it apart so much. So by the time you get to the performance day, you've got that 3.5 minutes to execute it. But what I always teach my students is, you're going to be prepared. You're going to be prepared. So whatever happens, it's going to happen. But you've practiced, you're prepared, and you know how to overcome those obstacles. So it's a lot alike, because you work really hard and you nitpick, and then everyone else just gets to kind of enjoy the performance. So.
Yes. And then, I'll put all this work into preparing for a trial and then go in and I've got 4 hours to try the case, and you're like, really, all this work for 4 hours, worth of work or performance, and kind of like with you, it's like all this work to go out and perform for 3.5 minutes and we're done.
That's it. I know, and you're like,
yes. Oh. But y'all, we're about to head to a break, and anyway, it's been fun. We'll be back, and Jean's going to continue to be here with us, and we'll chat some more. We'll see y'all shortly after the short commercial break. Welcome back to Balancing the Scales of Justice, and I'm still here with Jean. Before we went on a break, we were talking about the Music Box, your business downtown. You and your husband teach music lessons of all kinds. Different instruments as well as voice. And so let me ask you, when I'm driving down the road, I can have my stereo on and I can just sing as loud as my heart wants to sing.
Right.
But no one wants to hear me, I promise.
Oh, I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's good.
So, I'll be 50 years old in May. So I'm, getting on up in the age. Am I too old to come to your... to be a student of yours?
I'm so glad you asked. No, you're never too old. We accept all ages. We have had students in their 70s.
Wow.
Playing piano and guitar. Oh, we have a blast. I have one client that I used to call Banjo Laylee. She's so sweet. She's in her 70s, but she's like, I just wanted to learn how to play the Banjo Laylee. And it is the coolest instrument you've ever seen. And let me tell you, she has loved it. And we teach all, we start at 0 to 3 months. We have a mommy and me class that parents can attend during the summertime.
Fantastic.
We have an adult guitar class, a strumming class. No experience required, or experience required. Like, you can come if you can play an instrument, but if you can't, you still come, and we put you in your little spot, so you're not feeling overwhelmed or nervous. But it's a lot of fun. But yes, you come take some voice lessons with me, and I always the interesting thing about voice is that I get pastors sometimes that come in and take voice lessons to preserve their voice. So it's not
I did not know that.
Just about singing well, but vocal lessons can help preserve your voice. Well, we're just learning how to warm up.
Right.
So you're learning that correct technique, breathing. And you're a lawyer, so you have to get all those sentences out, and you need to be able to use your voice to speak. It wouldn't be great to show up, to court hoarse.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So vocal lessons are good for public speaking.
So I was in choir for a few years in high school. I don't remember how many years, however many years I could be, whether it was 3 years or 4 years, whatever it was. It was always one of my electives. And so I understand like the logistics behind what you're saying as far as, you know, having your breath and ensuring that you catch the right amount of breath in between, you know, all, between notes and all those sort of things. And I remember that from high school, although it's been a little while. But anyhow, so I understand that. But obviously, I mean, it's been a long time for me, so I could use even some brushing up on that. And I'm sure there's a lot more that I didn't learn then that I could learn now. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we would love to have you. And I mean, we're teaching, you know, music, it's a core activity. It stimulates our brain. We need music. I mean, it's so important. It's just as equally important as math and English.
I'm a music lover.
Yeah,
I will have music on at my house,
blasting
all the time. And I know this sounds crazy. I might turn my TV on one time a week.
Because you rather listen to music.
Yes, I always have music playing, and it's just, I love it. Like music has been probably the lifeline for my life. You know, it's helped me through so much in life, and I'm sure you understand that as well.
Yeah, well, we always tell our students, imagine, you know, of course they did this back in the day with the silent films, but imagine watching TV with no music.
True.
You know,
that is true.
That's it, just small things like that, and people go, oh, I didn't think about that. Well, yeah, you know, musicians, we create that affect for everyone. And so so with the Music Box and TMB Consulting, I'm like a cheerleader for musicians. You know, I'm always like, if this person is talented, I'm pushing them out there to anyone who will listen, because I think musicians, we need some love.
Yes.
We need some more love. We need places to perform, you know, and even with our students at the Music Box, our goal, so maybe not every student leaves the Music Box and goes off to pursue a music degree, but with our students that are of that age, we try to at least give them the tools so that if they should audition for a scholarship or go to The Voice or go into music, they'll have everything they need.
I love it. So how does your program work? I mean, what days of the week, or
so we're a lot.
Tell us about that.
That's the biggest question we get. We're like a doctor's office. We basically set up an appointment that works for you and your instructor. So there's my husband and I. We're the main instructors, and then we have another vocal and piano instructor and a guitar instructor. And I am like the mastermind. I have to get everyone's schedule together. 4 people with 40 kids, you know. And so basically you call and say, hey, Jean, Monday at 4:30 really works for me. And we do it in 30-minute sessions. And so I'll find a day and time that works for you. And then I'll add you to our schedule. And it's really easy to sign up for music lessons.
Nice.
It's the kind of calls I get are so funny because I'm like, yeah, just do this and this. They're like, that's it? I'm like, oh, that's it. They're like, and then I can start you can start. And they're always blown away and excited because, you know, a lot of places, we're a new school of music. Right? So we respect all musicians and everyone's craft and other teachers, and we support other schools of music. We are here for it. But we're just a little different. You can start any time of the semester with us. We're year-round. We offer lessons in the spring, in the summer, in the fall. We don't ever stop.
So do you have, so for instance, let's say I wanted to come and start having, you know, and I intend to do this. One of the things I've always wanted to do, I said, you know, it's my bucket list, is learn how to play the piano.
Oh, yeah.
When I was a young girl, my aunt always played the piano and played the organ. She mostly played the organ, and just, it was gorgeous, and I was always just so amazed.
Yeah.
And I always said that was one thing I wanted to do. Anyway, I've just been working too much in my lifetime to have time for hobbies.
And yeah, so my adults
if
are
I
like
wanted
that.
to say I want to come have piano lessons, is that like a 3-month contract, a 6-month contract?
I'm so glad you asked.
4-month contract? Like, how do you handle that?
So what we do, so I've been doing this for a long time, 9-10 years, just with having a brick and mortar, should I say. I've taught lessons for years and years and years. So our model is by the semester, like a school, because if we're going to call ourselves a school,
Right.
we want you to get your investment.
Okay.
So oftentimes people want to come take lessons for 1 month. Well, music is circular, right? It's not linear. Like these 4 lessons, you learn this and you're good to go. Goodbye.
Yes.
You're gonna not get a return on your investment if you don't at least do the semester. And we try to really explain that to our clients, to our students, the importance of if you sign up in January, you're gonna see a huge difference in May. You're gonna be blown away, and oftentimes our students stay with us 5, 6 years.
Nice.
We've had students that start with us in 7th grade all the way and they graduate. And we
Wow.
do a big recital
Right.
for our seniors, like just them. So we had one, Lauren, and she was with us from the time she was in 7th grade until 12th grade. And she had a big recital, just her. It was incredible. She did 2 sets of music, singing. Oh, she's on YouTube. Incredible. But that's what we want to do. We want to get them out into the real world situations. So yes, there is a time. So summer, we want you from June to August. We know summer is super busy. We're all traveling.
Right.
So we're very flexible. And we call it a flex schedule during the summer. So basically you call me up and let me know when you want to meet. If you're leaving for the beach and you're going to be gone for 7 days, well, let's do an hour before you leave or an hour when you get back. Okay. So we make it convenient. And even for our adult students, we're very flexible. We have adult students that work a full-time job and they're business owners, and if they're called in, they have to go. There's no leeway. So we make it very flexible. We always give them their lessons. So some school of music, if you miss, you just miss. And I didn't realize, I've had a lot of students come to me and say, oh, I've paid for a semester at so-and-so school, but that teacher was sick for 2 days and then we were sick for 2 days. And I'm like, yeah, so then you make them up. They're like, oh, they don't do makeups. I'm like, oh, well, we do makeups. That's important because life happens, right?
That's nice to know.
Yeah,
that is very nice to know.
We want you there for the semester, but we lay it out so that you're not pressurized into getting all 4 lessons in 1 month. So you have the whole semester to get your lessons in.
So if I come in and sign up for a semester, are those weekly lessons?
Yes.
Okay, so it would be every week for the whole semester.
Yep. So we try to put it at 16 sessions for a semester, fall and spring, and 8 sessions for summer.
Okay.
And so we make it pretty flexible. If you miss a lesson, we're pretty fair. We're pretty fair, and we don't.
I'm so glad you're here because I've learned a whole lot about your business that I didn't know, and I know, like I said earlier, I see you all around town, and I have for a long time, and just I've seen your things on social media. Talking about the music box and all of those things. So I was always curious about that. So I'm glad to know more about it, and I hope we can strike some interest for some more.
That would be great.
Some of our viewers who are watching to say, hey, that sounds like a great deal. Let me go have that.
Yeah, come get some music lessons. It's
Yes.
fun too. And we teach, our motto is, teaching music, through a fundamental experience. It's all about fun. The music box is bright and it's exciting. When we have a bright pink room, we have a record room. We keep the candy stocked. We keep the snacks stocked, so parents are happy. Parents come in and they're like, I need a little snack in between everything. So we try to make it like very friendly, very community oriented, very homely. We love what we do. We would love to have more support. We are a small school of music, but man, with more support from our community, we could grow this to just something amazing. And we're already on our way. Our students are so talented.
They are. And I'll tell you, if you haven't heard any of the students, go to one of their recitals. Do you have another recital planned? I know we just had one recently.
Yes, we had a spring recital, and we'll have another one in May. And we have enjoyed partnering with the Crest on Noble Street.
Their building is beautiful.
Oh my God! What in the acoustics? It's such a beautiful building. So that's where we like to have our recitals. And
do you know what day in May?
We haven't decided a day. I like to kind of get back after spring, but we know it'll be in May. And
so here's what we're gonna do, because we're about to. This show's about over, y'all.
Oh my goodness!
Sorry, I know. I told you, we get in here and we just don't have enough time. Oh, I like that sound. Tell our viewers how they get in touch with you, but also how they can look to find out when the recital is in May, because I encourage all of you to come to the recital and also, can they reach out to you and say, hey, I want to stop by and
Yes.
just check out your place of business
Yes.
and explore and see?
Bring
and then
your
one
babies
other
by.
question, do you have Wi-Fi? So if parents come and drop their
Yes.
children off, they can work?
They can work
Okay,
while
so
they're there.
tell us how to
Yes.
tell our
Okay.
viewers how to get in touch with you.
Okay, so you guys can find me, just Google The Music Box. We're The Music Box 1985 LLC. We have a Facebook, a TikTok, and an Instagram. We're located on 1018 Noble Street, right beside our favorite Nunnally's Art Gallery and Classic on Noble. And we're
Oh,
right
a lot
across
of
the
us
street
know
from
where-
Lulu's.
a lot of us know
so
where that
it's
is,
it. We're
yes.
in a hot spot. You could come and drop your kids off, grab some dinner. So yeah, come see us, and you can call me anytime, 256-624-7986. I'll be happy to get you in at the Music Box.
Fantastic. Jean, thank you so much for being with me today.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. See you all next week. Thank you for watching.